So let me put a question to you. If all the members of the Oireachtas, the Dáil, the Parliament of Ireland, and in the Seanad and stuff, the people who make the decisions, are landlords, etc., would they do anything to end the housing crisis? Because let's be fair, it benefits them. It really, really does benefit them. And it makes sense of why they never have done anything productive to end the housing crisis. So they do something. And the reason is because it's making them a fuck ton of money. Excuse my language, but let's be honest, it is. So 35 TDs that we know of, this is what has been declared. Of course, all of them have probably properties in different countries in Ireland, in other parts that they don't disclose, obviously for taxes, and because they don't have to, because there'll be no punishments even they did. Remember Robert Troy, he never disclosed his properties. And nothing never happened to him. He got slapped in the wrist and that was it. That's pretty much all the punishment they get. And of course, a lot of them have multiple properties. This is only what we know of. But let's be fair, why did they give a fuck about the housing crisis when they're making buck ton of money? Like all these TDs, like some of them, we know what they're disclosing. They make an insane amount of money. Like they're making thousands alone on the properties and stuff. And who knows if they're paying tax on them? Who knows? Because they already make enough. And it's very greedy too to even be charged and take for example in some cases here. They're saying they're wetting it out to students, and there could be thousands of euro a week. You think they would say, I'm a member of the Oireachtas, I get 100,000 a year, plus allowances, expenses. They don't need the money, let's put it that way. They really, really don't. All of them are multi-millionaires. All of them in the door are multi-millionaires, hundreds of millions. They don't need the money. It's just pure greed, that's what it is. Like, they could surely charge them €5 a week, nearly, if they wanted to, because they don't need the money. It's not much to them. But they don't care. That's the simple fact. The simple fact is they simply don't care. It's money for them. And it's not just robbing Irish people, etc. Like some of them are probably housing refugees, as we know, but Danny Healy-Way, Michael Healy-Way. They shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be allowed to, as a member of the Oireachtas, to take contracts from the government to house refugees. It's hundreds of millions of euro we're probably talking about to house refugees, etc. Because the government could just throw the money at them to house refugees. Not even them, other people too. They just throw the money at them and they don't ask any questions. But it's utterly disgraceful. It's utterly disgraceful because if they didn't have rented properties and stuff, because they have affected this interest, because the lack of accommodation and stuff, they can put up the prices. That means when there's a demand for stuff and there's a lack of supply, you can jock up the prices by 50-fold. And say if there was loads of supply and low demand, you wouldn't be able to charge the moon out and stars. They wouldn't be making half as much money. But let's be fair, they are, because simply it benefits them. So in the morning, if we said no TD, and this should be the way anyway, the no TD should be a landlord. You can own property, of course, but you shouldn't be charging people to stay in accommodation. What you remember the Oireachtas, that should be passed. Anyway, that should be into the law. That you cannot be a landlord and a sitting TD or senator. Simple as that. I generally think that's what we should do, because overnight, I literally mean overnight, something would be done, because they'd be making no money and they would want something to be done. Because it's no benefit to them, because they'd be like, oh fuck, we have a property, we can't make any money from it. We have to try and do something. That's what they'd be trying to do. But that never happened because it's money for the boys, as they say. But if that did happen, the housing crisis would be fixed. There'd be a will for them to do something, because there's no will at the moment, because they're all making a fuck ton of cash on the backs of the working class Irish. Because let's be fair, there's the people that they're using, the Irish people. They're not using anybody else. They wouldn't dare use anybody else. But yeah, it's a fucking disgrace of a country. It really, really is a disgrace of a country. And I would hope that someday we will pass a law like that they couldn't be a member of the Oireachtas when they have renting out a property. Oh, that nearly they should not own a property. They should own nothing and be happy about it. Because let's be fair, the majority, you and me, the people who go to work, will never be able to own our own house, let alone own a property to sell or to rent out, etc. These people are fucking fuck tons of money because they're multi-millionaires. And if you and I ever did, we never will, unfortunately, a lot of us will. But this is the thing, greed gets greed, that's what I'm saying. But it's all just a fucking disgrace. And all of them are fucking disgraces anyway. Because you shouldn't be charging anything nearly for the properties. They should be only charging them a token amount. What do I mean by token? Maybe €100 a week or something like that. That'd be reasonable. But they're charging up to thousands of euro a week in some cases, some of these TDs for people. Take, for example, I was just looking at some of the other places. One Sinn Féin TD is charging 2,600 a month. Who knows who owns that? Who's in that property? It could be a student, it could be an elderly person. Who knows who it is? But they're charging 2,600 a month. In a place. That's insane. Along with his salary, because again, you have to remember they get nearly 10,000 or something like that a week. It's an insane amount of money. Like I think it's 5,000 a week plus allowance expenses. The TD gets over 100. It's nearly 130,000 a year plus allowances expenses, isn't the whole rest of the shebang. So it's very, very good. Wouldn't you agree? It's very, very good. You don't really need a property along with that. But yeah, it's just pure greed. That's all it is. It's just pure greed, money hungry, money fucking talking shit. That's basically what it is. But yeah, they should do something like that. That no TD is allowed to own a property. Full stop probably would be the best option, because then they'd be like, oh shit, we have to do something to make sure people can own houses. But again, it's all right for them, but for you and me, they never want us to own. They want us to own nothing and be happy about it. Let me know what you think. Subscribe for more and bye.